Dear our outstanding business managers, colleagues, and students. First of all, it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome you here in my capacity of acting as Deputy Chair of our Business Administration Department in Arel University to this department event. I am heading our department this term because our head of department, Associate Professor Dr. Yağmur Özer Aksoy, gave birth. And I congratulate them, especially our Aviation Management Department Chair, Professor Yasin Aksoy. They together had a son, a new son, and we believe that they will be very happy with their son. And I believe that this event is of a great importance to all of our students in particular, and our department activity today, 21st, entitled 21st Century Competencies that university students should have from the perspective of the business world, is jointly organized by my authority with the help of our academician. I see Mustafa Aslan, Dr. Mustafa Aslan, and here you are our outstanding business C-level managers, Mr. Hakan Uzun. He is Vice President of the CyberWise, one subsidiary of Eczacıbaşı Holding, and Mr. Can Atalay. He's the CEO of Arkas Holding. And I know you are looking forward to for my students learning and gaining successful experiences at this meeting. And I have the pleasure to say that these kinds of meetings will continue this term in our Introduction to Higher Education course. And I would wish once again to encourage my friends, my students, all of you, to actively engage in our discussions and don't hesitate ask questions in order to make it a truly interactive and lively event. Let's start to talk about the agenda. Let me just share especially our presentation in here. Can you see it? I think it's on your screen. And now let me address the agenda. The agenda of this meeting will address a number of important topics. What do I mean? Especially, we are going to start talk about, first of all, different domains of competencies that influence your success in the university and provides them with the necessary skills for the 21st century workplace. And then I'm going to talk about a little about the top 10 skills that you need for today's great challenges. And I'm going to leave the floor to Mr. Hakan Uzun and then Can Atalay. We are going to just listen their speech about our main topic, how we are going to just engage in this challenging, turbulent time in the business life. Let's start to just talk about mainly, especially as I told to you, what kinds of different domains that influence your success in your university and provides you with the necessary in this 21st century workplace. We know that mainly in order to determine the best way to meet the challenges of spatial teaching to you, I mean 21st century students, I call to you, we need to take a closer look at who you are. Especially here, this is your first term and this is your first time in any university and in our department. So you're not ready to this university at this time. Just because there are lots of research conducted about this issue and nearly 38% of the first year students, we know that you have a hard time adjusting to the demands of the college or the university. And you are more tech savvy. What do I mean? We know that you want to acquire knowledge quickly as well as skills that can be transferred to the workplace. And also another important issue, we know that you are less traditional. Uh, just you are leading busy lives, often with family and work responsibilities outside of the demands of the school. So, especially, we know that you expect your university or department will prepare you for your career, and you also want to relate to job competencies, job seeking and success, and you want to be supported and enhanced by the technology, especially this distance learning system and courses will going to ease this issue, and you focus on application and transferable skills rather than just acquiring the knowledge. And there are lots of research conducted about this issue. I mean, the domains of the competency. And this research has shown that the meetings, the needs of the today's students and preparing them for education, life, and work means that addressing three important domains of competency. What are they? Cognitive domain, interpersonal domain, and interpersonal domain. The cognitive domain, when we say the cognitive domain is one heart of this issue, especially knowledge, creativity, cognitive process and strategies, reasoning, argumentation, and as well critical thinking is the most important part in this cognitive domain. And also the interpersonal domain, I mean the intellectual openness, work ethic and conscientiousness. Metacognition is the ability to reflect your own learning and making adjustments accordingly. And persistence and grit today especially is needed for Generation Z, very important persistence and the grit. And the self-efficacy. This reflects your confidence in the ability for control yourself, your own motivation, behavior, and also your social environment. And the third one, the last one, the domains of this competency lies in the interpersonal domain. I mean the communication, conflict resolution, leadership, and as well collaboration is most important part in the interpersonal domain. So, what are our responsibilities as teachers and business sector professionals, especially in our university, in our departments? In all courses of our department, especially, we provide clearly delineated learning goals and a model of learning process. And we represent content and concepts in various ways accompanied by activities, and also we encourage elaboration, questioning, investigation, and explanation. And also we engage you in challenging tasks while supporting you with appropriate scaffolding. And we teach with examples and case studies that bring home real world relevance and show the concepts at work. And we prime your motivation by connecting with your interests, experience, and aspirations. And also we engage you in collaborative problem solving and other collaboration with learning purpose. And also we provide a meaningful feedback and invite you to access your own progress. So many of you would agree that one of the most important vital purposes of the higher education is to prepare graduates to address the big issues or grant the challenges facing the world. The good news about these daunting challenges is that they align with the concerns and the interests of millennial graduates and the Generation Z learners. So the other good news is that universities recognize that we cannot address any of these challenges in a solid way. In other words, one discipline doesn't hold the answer. Rather, integration across different types of disciplines is the key. So each challenge requires all of these. I mean, a technical solution, a policy solution, an economic solution, and a social solution. In this respect, all disciplines will play a role in addressing the global challenges, including the sometimes melanated liberal arts. It's not only the perspectives and methodologies or various disciplines that we need, but also the skills they focus on that provide an integrated and holistic approach to sustainable solutions. I also give information about the World Economic Forum 2016 report. According to this report, I added in this presentation, the top 10 skills graduates needs are, first of all, what are they? Complex problem solving. You have to gain this. Critical thinking, creativity, people management, very important. Coordinating with others, your emotional intelligence in addition to your IQ, judgment and decision making, and also service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. So these 10 important skills, you always just upgrade them, invest them. In the World Economic Forum's feature of the jobs report, also just about 2 years later, they indicated that other skills are also growing in the needs for 2022 outlook, including mainly analytical thinking, innovation, resilience, attention to detail, and leadership. In addition to this and the proficiency in new technologies, the report emphasizes the need for human skills, especially creativity, initiative, originality, and persuasion. Now I leave the floor. Especially uh, uh, to Mr. Hakan Uzun. He's the Vice President of the CyberWise, and then we are going to listen to Mr. Can Atalay, CEO of Arkas Line in Arkas Holding. Yes, Mr. President Hakan Uzun, we are listening to you.
Thank you very much. If possible, can I get a permission to share my screen so that I can...
Yes, it will be very helpful for us. Thank you so much.
Let me try.
Okay.
You need a permission to share your screen. I get that right. Security privacy setting.
Near the especially microphone button, you can share your screen. Just clicking the presentation. Yeah, you know it better than us. You always present.
Open gateway. Do you see my screen?
Not yet. I think it's coming now. Not yet.
I receive a notification saying that we need a permission. Okay, let me check my privacy settings. Sorry.
I should.
I
Can't
think
you share?
Yeah, I'm trying, but the notification says that you still need permission. Let me. Okay, it's now okay. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, we see. Yes, thank you.
That's great. I think my voice comes well.
Yes, everything is okay.
First of all, thank you very much inviting me this very valuable session to Arel University. I'm really
We
glad about
appreciate you. Yes, we are also too very glad.
this. Hakan Uzun. As you said, I'm a vice president of CyberWise, which is the biggest cybersecurity integrator of Turkey, having more than 250 people just securing the infrastructure of Turkey and companies against cybersecurity attacks. I'm 51 years old, graduated from Bosphorus Boğaziçi University in 1991 from Management Information Systems. And for last 34 years, I'm in business life. From the first year of university, I started work. So at almost 30 years, I'm in technology business and work in different companies like International, Siemens, Motorola, McAfee, and those kind of things. So for last job, I joined a local company to grow it in Turkey, also in EMEA region, in Europe, Africa, and Middle East, because we know that there are lots of huge talent in our country, and we believe that we are going to expand our business across all EMEA regions so that we can convey all our expertise to other regions. So thank you very much again. Let me start from a number, which is billion. Billion is a big number, you know, everybody thinks that billion is a big number. So I'm gonna share some information regarding billion, because almost more than 150 years ago, when the first car was invented, it took around 131 years to reach 1 billion car in the world. It took 131 years. After 100 years later, when IBM invented the personal computer, it took 27 years to reach 1 billion computer worldwide. But strangely, it took only 5 years to reach another 1 billion computer in the world. This is very strange statistics. We know that most of us using Facebook. It took only 9 years for Facebook to reach 1 billion users. But again, reaching another 1 million only took 4 years. And lastly, WeChat, it took only 6 years to reach 1 billion users. This shows us that worlds are changing very fast, dramatically. Everything is very fast. We need to be ready in this challenging world, especially in business life. When I remember my business life in the first year, everything was very slow. But if I consider the 5 last year of my business life, each week, each month, I'm trying to get aligned with the new emerging technologies. So it's taking lots of time to get aligned with the new works. So that's why it's a challenging work, but of course there are lots of skills and competences which is gonna help us in this new world. Unfortunately, I have a bad news for our students. Actually, it's a good news. Digital transformation is not starting. It has already started and happened. If we have a look at the biggest, largest movie house, cinema of the world, Netflix has no any venue. The biggest taxi company in the world, Uber, it's not functional in Turkey, but it's used, billions of people using worldwide, doesn't have any single taxi in the world. Most of our friends maybe know students, Airbnb, biggest accommodation supplier of world, doesn't have any single flat. Biggest content owner, Facebook, doesn't have any media. All the user created only. So this shows us that digital disruption has already happened, and we need to get aligned as soon as possible to catch the digital transformation in our country as well. So in my business life, I use different presentations, but for last 2 years, I'm using this kind of slide set. It has a similarity with the one you presented to our students. We categorize it into 3 categories. We broke them into 3 categories. One of them is learning skill. Another one is literacy skill. In Turkish is okuryazarlık skills. And the last one is life skills, because all 3 categories are top important to become successful in our business life. So I'm gonna give my samples, ideas, all those kind of things from the perspective of business life. If you are in art, if you are in university, those comments may differ a bit. So please listen it as a perspective from the business life. Okay, first, if we have a look at the learning skills, critical thinking is the top important thing for us. Critical thinking means for us, for business people, is finding solution to the problems, because whenever you come to the join a company, you'll start seeing lots of problems. You should find solution to those problems yourself. We as a manager, like new graduates who have faced the problem and come to us and asking for saying that, Mr. Hakan, I have this problem, but I have three options to solve it. Which one should I proceed? This is something we refer to the critical thinking. If you encounter any problem, you should find the solution to those problems yourself and get mentorship, get coaching from your manager. This is very critical. The second one is creativity. In art, it is different, but in our business life, thinking out of box. You should think differently. In our business life, in our private life, you should question the status quo. Status quo. Status quo means accepting all the current state. You should question the status quo because it is the biggest obstacle in front of the innovation. Question it, bring new idea, just ask another opinion. So this skill of people in business life leads the innovation. So that's why questioning status quo and bringing new idea is really important for us as in business life. Collaboration, everybody is talking about collaboration. It's a common word, but collaboration is the key to be successful in business life. Collaboration means team working together towards one main target or aim, creating balance within the team, within the company. But it's not easy. We have diverse people in my business life. There are silent people, shy people, talking people, aggressive people, people with high egos. So that's why creating balance, get aligned with all this environment and working for one common goal in one team, which we call as collaboration, is very important. The company who cannot align with collaboration mostly goes to bankruptcy, unfortunately. So that's why collaboration. Collaboration starts from early age, from university. For example, most probably in universities, you are going to have lots of projects. In projects, you are going to have teams, and you should work as a team to successfully deliver a project. So just have a look at those collaboration as a start point and preparation for your business life. It is very important to work together. And communication. Without communication, if you have lots of skills all together, if you are the best one in the sector, best skills, if you don't communicate with other people, if you don't convey your idea, target, other thing with others, no one is going to avail it. If you are a manager of the company, if you don't communicate your target, vision, mission, where you're going to be in 5 years later as a company, so your people, managers, mid-level is not going to be able to see where they are going. So that's why share everything. No problem, it's stupid. It's okay. Communicate it. But don't mix communication only with talking. Communication doesn't mean talking only. Listening is a part of great part of communication as well. You should understand, learn how to listen people and understand, then give your idea. So that's why those learning skills are, of course, can be learned and you can improve yourself. University is the perfect environment to improve those kind of skills. So that's why I think those kind of speech sessions are going to help you a lot. Let me share the second category. But before, I'm going to share with the African proverb. We use it a lot in our business life. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Don't forget, this is number one key to be successful in business life. Go together if you like to go far. So, second category is literacy skill, which means okuryazarlık. I mean, it's sometimes difficult to understand it a bit, but in our current environment, you should have literacy skills because world is changing a lot. In today's world, the king is data. In today's world, data is new oil. Information, which leads intelligence, is new petrol. So that's why you may have everything, but data is the king. If you have data, and if you convert information, it is the most valuable asset now for companies, for all of us as a university student, for you. What is information? Information is structured data, which means something for you. It has some meaning. So in today's world, everywhere we are getting data. As a student, as a new graduate, as an employee, you should understand how you are going to read those data. What does that mean? How you can use those data in intelligence decision-making system, in CRM system, those kind of things. I don't mean that you should know all technical details, but you should have a literacy. You should at least know the concept. In the meetings, when people are talking about those concepts, you should understand what they are talking about. That's why information literacy is extremely important. The second one is media. Media, you know, in traditional words, the radio, television, those kind of things were the traditional media. But in current world, even myself can have a television myself using different social media tools. So that's why using media, different media, social media type of things is key important to collaborate with people and convey your competences around you. And the third one is, of course, technology. Digital transformation, 90% depends on technology supported by human beings. Digital transformation means embedding digital world into business processes. That's why you should follow what is technology, what kind of technology trends is going on in the world. For example, in this digital transformation time, you should be aware of this terminology. What is mobile? What is mobile business? How people in the field can use mobile technologies? What is social tools to use? How I can use embed LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter message to the business process of a company. You should be aware of this concept. What is cloud? If it is cloud set, we shouldn't have a look at the air. Cloud is something, all the data is gathered without any borders. What is big data? We are talking about data. If you would like to structure the data, if you would like to use an intelligence word of digital transformation, we're going to put all data to the big data. So that's why what is big data? What is IoT? We always talk about IoT. What is IoT? Internet of Things, nesnelerin interneti. It means if you have any device who connects to the internet, it's an IoT device. By the end of 2023, in the world, we expect more than 25 billion connected device, IoT device in the world. So that's why we should know how IoT devices can help our business. We are studying in business administration, you are going to manage business, but technology, digitalization is a part of your business anymore. So that's why you should be aware of it. Of course, another important technology concept is security. If you like to use all technology, you should be aware how the security of those applications can be fulfilled. What is cyber security? Again, what I'm trying to tell is that you don't need to learn technically, deeply all those technology, but you should know what is the trend in the world in technology, what is those terminologies, how those technology can help business in our business life. So that's why this is top important as today's world. And again, you are studying in business administrative. Fintech is very important. Fintech means financial services and technology together. we call financial service technology as a fintech in business life. In current world, I strongly advise all our student friends to have a look at what is Bitcoins, what is crypto coins, what is blockchain. Crypto tools are a tool, but what is blockchain? Blockchain is a new emerging tool which is going to disappear traditional financing, not maybe in 5 years, but 10 years, 15 years later. There will be no middleman between the people, between the companies. So that's why please have a look at what is blockchain technologies, how this can be used in different business models. And finally, what is life skills? Life skills, there are many life skills, but I put only 5 of them which are important. Flexibility, as I said, world is changing extremely fast. To get aligned with new world, we need to be flexible. Another wording of flexibility, meaning being agile. In Turkish, it is çevik. We should be agile. What does that mean? It's changing very fast. We need to adapt ourselves, our business model, everything to the new normal as soon as possible. This is very difficult because sometimes you see that your way is not the right way. You should accept it, find the right way. Sometimes you see that what you are focusing is not true. You should accept it and you change yourself. This is extremely important. You should be agile and flexible in your business life, in your private life. And leadership. Leadership doesn't mean that you have to be manager. Even new graduate people can be leader. Even students in university can be leader. Leadership means motivating other people around you. Just encouraging other people in your business. Gathering other people for one common goal. So this is leadership. In our business life, if we encourage and gather people as a team and you motivate them, we call it as a leadership. And you don't have to be manager for it. The natural leader and also the people who focus on leadership and learn it can naturally a greatest candidate for the bigger role in our business life. And initiative. Initiative in our world, we use initiative, taking responsibility and start acting. Because you may have the best plan in your hand, you may have best idea, but if you don't start action, there is no any tangible asset or intangible asset in our hand. So that's why you should learn to take responsibility, take risk, but controlled risk. You should measure the risk and take an action. The people who take an action become successful. You can get graduate from 2 universities, do 2 different masters. You can do PhD, but if you don't take action, you don't reach anywhere. Take responsibility, start action, and in the way you can fine-tune all the other competencies you need. And productivity is the key. If you are not productive in business life, you go bankruptcy. You should always focus to productivity. In order to understand productivity, what I suggest is just learn what is efficiency, what is effectiveness. It is totally different things. It is confusing terminology, but if you take note and search what is efficiency and what is effectiveness, you are going to find the right path. I'm not going to tell what is the difference between it. And the last one is social skill. Social. I'm working in business more than 34 years, technology more than 30 years. I have never joined a company through any headhunter, or I have never checked any LinkedIn job. I only use my networking around me to find a job. So that's why in your university, in your business life, networking is top critical. Your networking brings you business. Your networking will take you somewhere. Your networking is gonna open all the obstacles. So that's why socialize. Start it in university. Become a member of clubs. Those kind of things. So that's why social skill is another competency you should improve. So I think it is a bit longer than expected. Sorry about it, but I hope it is clear, and I tried to use a simple wording for it, and I hope it's useful for our friends and students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hakanson. You mentioned very important topics. Also, with these students, with these friends, we are going to have, in addition to introduction to higher education course in this term, we are going to also have introduction to business course. So as you mentioned about lots of things, the skills, networking, productivity, efficiency, lots of things, also conceptual and theoretical terms that's needed to learn in this courses. You mentioned you give information about lots of things very important for us, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your own effort and attention. And I want to also, with your permission, I want to ask my friends, yes, students, do you have any question? Do you want to ask Mr. Hakan Uzun? I know he should attend a new meeting after this. So if you have any question, Can, Göktürk, Hakan, Irmak, Melis, and Ömer, do you have any question to Mr. Hakan? Do you want to just ask? Don't hesitate to ask question. You can ask.
Ask a good question. Don't worry.
Don't worry about this. Yes. Also, we want to hear yourself. You can open your video and also speak. Yes. Who wants to take this role? Huh? Can? Melis? Are you here?
I'm gonna give my contact information, share.
Okay. Okay.
Question, any mentorship, let them just get in touch with me. I'm gonna support and help them if they need.
Okay, Dan, I would like to express my gratitude to you for participating in our event by sparing your precious time for us. Thank you very much for your own effort and attention, President Uzun. Yes, Mustafa. Yes, Dr. Mustafa.
Thank you very much, Hakan. I really appreciated your participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Okay, I think, are you leaving or staying a little bit?
I have to leave. I'm sorry about it.
You have to leave. Yes, we appreciate for your participation. Thank you very much. And maybe we can also just compose a new meeting later in this term. Thank you very much for sharing your precious time for us and giving a detailed information about your experiences. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very nice. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, and you also have a nice day. Bye-bye. Now we continue with, we waited for dear my friends, Mr. Can Atalay, and now he is the CEO of Arkas Line, Arkas Holding. Now I leave the floor to our president, Mr. Atalay. Now we listen to Mr. Atalay. Yes, here you are.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the Business Administration Department of your respectful university for inviting me to this platform and allowing me to share my thoughts with young fellows. Now, in next coming minutes, I will talk about time management, but unfortunately, when I start talking with the young fellows, I am always overtime given to me. That's why, first of all, I will set my chronometer. Okay. Now, if you allow me, let me start introducing myself. My name is Can Atalay. I was born in Ankara in 1966. I graduated from Naval Lise and afterwards Naval Academy. I joined the Navy in 1988 as a lieutenant, as an officer. I worked as a deck officer on various ships of the Navy for 5 years. Although I loved the Navy, I couldn't find the working environment I dreamed of, and that's why I decided to quit Navy in '93. And in the same year, I joined Arkas Holding. I completed 27 years at Arkas. I really strongly believe that I am very lucky, since my job is still exciting me after all these 27 years. Otherwise, the number of the people who have worked in the same company for many years is not a very common experience in our business life. I am one of the unique cases here. I am the CEO of Arkas Container Transport. The brand name is Arkas Line. Arkas Line has the largest container fleet in Turkey, and we are the 25th in the world ranking. We are giving regular container services between Mediterranean, Black Sea, West Africa, and North Continent ports. Already we are operating 35 container vessels, and we are loading more than 1.5 million TEUs. We call TEU for 20 equivalent units. It means for a container metric system, let me say. And with these figures, we are the 25th largest container line in the world rankings. Now, it has been a great advantage for me to work in both the Navy and private sector. The military environment and the private sector are considered to be very different from each other. Of course, the rules of the military system is very strict, but in fact, the both sectors, military and private sectors, are looking for the same competencies, which we will talk about now. Now, I am still able to follow the developments in the Navy because I have friends there still. Of course, they are very high levels if they remained, they are the admiral or they are retired. But of course, when we come together, we are talking about the past and what the developments are in Navy. And sometimes I'm surprised that the conditions of the private sector and the military system are going parallelly, really. It is interesting. Maybe in some other sections we can talk about it. But today the subject is the competences of the 21st century in the business life. Of course, this subject was very hot in the last 10 years. And first of all, it was discussed whether talent or competencies are important. Afterwards, it is decided that competencies are more important than the talent. And afterwards, there are a lot of articles about this subject, and there are a lot of lists. Each have their own lists. But after some time, it is understood that most of the lists are matching with each other. Today, I will share with you the list of competences I have prepared with my 32 years of experience. And there are a lot, in fact, but considering the time limitation, I choose the must-have. Now, if you had asked me this question 10 years before, most probably I would talk about obedience, loyalty, diligence, or intelligence. But now I will talk some other features, not these ones. I don't want to mislead my young fellows. These obedience, loyalty, diligence are still very important for the business life, but they are not sufficient enough. On top of it, there should be some other features which we will talk today. Otherwise, loyalty, I have a good experience of this. I have been working here 27 years, but it also depends on how you spend your 27 years. If you are just coming and going to the office only, it doesn't make sense. Therefore, it is needed some other competences to develop personally yourself and also to develop the company you are working in. Now, my first competence is ethical value. What are these values in ethical? When we say ethical or moral values, these are being honest, being neutral, to fulfill your duty completely and in the best way. Not to have a conflict of interest, to follow the rules of courtesy, and so on. We can increase the number of the features in ethical values. For me personally, no matter how successful an employee is in his or her job, I can trust anyone who lacks of moral values. This issue, especially in last 5 years, became a main issue between the companies who wants to collaborate together. Now, I would like to give you an example from Arkaslan. Now, you know IKEA, we call IKEA, but in the international world it's called IKEA. IKEA is one of the most powerful company in the world, and it is one of the most important customer of container lines. And IKEA is opening a tender every year, and after this tender, they choose the companies they will work in that year. They have been loading thousands of containers from different countries of the world. And also as Arkaslan, we are participating in these tenders. But when we have first touched IKEA, they said that it is not easy to enter to our tenders. First of all, we will check your ethical values. We will visit you and you will show us what you are doing in ethical perspective. What are your values and how you follow this? What are the rules of the company? And also, it is not enough. You have to convince us that you are not harming the nature. What are you doing to minimize the carbon dioxide emission on land and on sea? After that, if we are convinced, then we will let you to enter the tenders. Now, this happened almost 6 years ago, and it was very surprising for us. But afterwards, we realized that some other companies in the world are following the same path. And for them, the ethical value of the company is the key issue. In fact, ethical values define a decent man. If you are a decent man, if your company workers are full of the decent people, then this company is also decent as well. Therefore, this is the new logic of the business life and becoming more and more important in every year. That's why I put it in the first item in my list. And the second one is team working. Mr. Uzun also mentioned about it. I fully agree with his comments. He explained very well. I don't have so much to add on top of him, but if it's needed to make a few words, if you are not a doctor or if you are not a code writer, you will be in a team for sure. You cannot avoid it. Even if you are a doctor, if you are a surgeon, then also you will be in a team of nurses and other doctors during the operation. Therefore, in your life, always you will be in a team working. And the success of the team is based on the harmonization. It's a good harmonization brings the success. But this harmonization also based on the ethical values as well. People should respect to each other. People should follow the courtesies, not to have a conflict of interest or to be honest. Therefore, for a good team working, it is needed a good harmonized group of employee, and which have a really strong ethical values. If if you poison the harmony of this team, you can be sure that you will be kicked out from the team, and even you can be kicked out from the company as well. This is really very, very important in nowadays. You should know that I would like to emphasize that your communication skills will have the positive or negative consequences. Therefore, as much as you improve your personal skills, of course, in a nice way, then I'm sure that you will be more strong in the business life. Also, another issue is the willingness to learn, because you must eager to read and learn more. In the past, the information we learned in our university time, we succeeded to complete the business life with this knowledge. But today, the information is really changing very rapidly, and it is changing not only in one sector, in all sectors. And if you are not very curious to learn, and you are not very willing to read more, then you will fall behind your profession. Therefore, my suggestion to my young fellows that you have to eager to read, to learn as much as you can, because you believe that whatever you learn in the university, it will not be enough when you will be in the business life, because you are at the first year and you have another 3 years more. And when, as Mr. Uzun has explained, now in the world, in 3-5 years periods, there are a lot of changes. Therefore, you shouldn't only stay with the information you get from the university. After the university, you should continue learning and following the changes in your industry. Let me give you an example again from my shipping industry. Now, there are autonomous vessels under construction. And in North Europe and also in Far East, there are some trial voyages of autonomous vessels. Now, as a member of this environment, also I have to follow what is going on these autonomous vessels, how I will manage these vessels with my current knowledge. Of course, it is not enough. Then I have to improve, develop myself to be ready for these autonomous vessels. This is a simple example. You can find some others in other industries for sure. Another feature is the leadership. Again, Mr. Uzun explained it. Let me tell you just a few words. Always try to be the one who drags the team. Don't just be the member of the team. Always trying to be the best of your team. But it is not easy to do, since you need to be good in knowledge and also good in personality. Therefore, this should be the target of each young pupil for their future business life. And of course, speaking and writing English in a high level is another feature. It is a must nowadays. In my generation, we are English knowledge is not as good as the ones today, but in that years there were not so many competition in the business life, and we were lucky about it. But you will not be so lucky because your competitors are not only from Turkey but from all over the world. Therefore, you should have a really very good level of English. You have to train yourself on a world scale, not only Turkish scale, on a world scale. Please don't forget that there are a lot of companies whose owners are foreigners. In economical point of view, it is not good maybe, but in terms of careers of young fellows, it's a big opportunity for you, because when you start working in these companies in Turkey, and if you are successful enough, then you have chance to be appointed to the other positions of that company in different countries. But in order to have these positions, first of all, of course, you have to be a good employee, you have to be successful, but also you have to have a good English to express yourself properly. Therefore, please pay attention to have a good level of English. Also, an essential competence for me is the time management. You have learned the importance of 1 minute, 1 hour, and 1 day. Also, let me give you again an example from the Navy. When a missile fired at your ship, there are only seconds for you to decide and to react. Therefore, 1 second is really very important at that moment. Or for a surgeon in the operation, 1-2 seconds is making big difference. Therefore, you have to pay attention to the time management, because also in my company, I am experiencing something which makes me really unhappy. Especially the young generation like you are a bit more flexible, but more relaxed. Yes, it should be in somehow, but you will be asked to prepare some reports, and you will be also a member of a team. Therefore, there will be the distribution of the works in that team, and you will be asked to prepare your duty on time in a time schedule. These all are very important really for the business life. And if you don't follow this time management, then I'm sure that you will have serious problems. Therefore, you have enough time. If you believe that you have the lack of this competency, you can improve your time management skills during this university period easily. And another issue is access to the information. Now we are talking about big data, which is really important. But if you don't know how to analyze this big data and how to synthesize it, big data means nothing for you. Either it is a big or small data, doesn't make sense. Therefore, you have to know how to pick up the important issues for you from this big data, then how to analyze it, how to make it a report, and also I am receiving sometimes tens of pages of reports, which I am lost in these figures. Also, this is needed training, how to do this. There are some systems, so I'm sure that your teachers will give the necessary trainings during your university period. But I recommend you to pay really utmost attention. And also you should be very thankful to your teachers for organizing this kind of platforms. and you are able to listen to different people from different industries. And we never had such a chance in our education times, and therefore really you have to be very thankful. But use all these opportunities for your own development. And for me, I can talk more, but I'm almost, I think, over too much over my 15 minutes. But I will complete with the last one, the global citizenship. Also, I believe that this is very important since we have been facing with many problems with the young people. Now we are offering them the new positions in abroad, because as Arkaslan we have the agencies, our own agencies in Europe and African countries, North Africa and West Africa. Now, when there is an open position in Europe, there are a lot of people volunteer to go there. But when we are looking for somebody for Africa, I mean, we find nobody, because nobody wants to go out of their comfort area. But don't forget that if tomorrow there will be a high-level position and there are two candidates, one is coming from Europe and the other one from Africa, be sure that we will choose the one coming from the Africa, because the value of being successful in Africa is much higher. Therefore, to be ready to live in different countries and in different cultures. Maybe the countries you will work will not be so civilized, and the infrastructures will not be as good as Turkey or the other countries you would like to live. But don't forget that the success in this kind of countries has a more value for you. Therefore, don't hesitate to go this kind of countries when it was offered to you, it will be offered to you. Now, in fact, I can talk, but I think that that's enough. Also, I don't want to bombing the the students with a lot of comments. But in next coming months, weeks, if you want me to participate again, with a pleasure, I will join and make some other comments. Believe that can be necessary for the young fellows.
Yes, we appreciate your participation. I want to express my gratitude to you for participating in our event by sparing your precious time and for us. And I hope this event is beneficial for our students. Thank you for your attention, Mr. Can Atalay, President. Maybe in different types of sections or meetings, we can come together in accordance with your especially business life music. And I want to turn my friends who just left. Do you have any question? I think Mustafa, Dr. Aslan raising the hand. Yes, Mustafa, we are listening to you.
Thank you very much, John. I really appreciate it for your participation. And also, I'm glad to hear that companies are really valuing ethical values and environmental awareness, because those two are really important for sustainable business. Thank you very much for your participation.
I thank you for your invitations. Thank you.
Yes, I also thank to Dr. Aslan. By the help of him, we organize and you participate in here. Thank you for very much. And for my students, thank you for your attention. And we are going to see next week in our introduction to higher education and also introduction to business courses. For all executives, Hakan Uzun and Can Atalay, our presidents, for participating in our event, I am repeating that I express my gratitude by just sparing their precious time for us. And for the last words, if you have any question, you can get in contact with us. And also, I think President Atalay also shared his communication numbers, and you can also, if you want to ask question, you can get in contact with us and also with them. So for the last words, I say that stay safe and healthy during this coronavirus pandemic, and also this is important, you know, that especially mainly you have to just invest mainly yourself, just focusing on this in this pandemic, your education. And we know that especially life is not always can just give different types of chances. We are not lucky as the others, or sometimes it depends on one during period of time it changes. But you don't give up. You should live the life up, investing, upgrading your skills. So get hooked on learning and networking with your friends, and also us with your social contacts of your life. And this is very important. And please get in contact with us in this distance learning education system. This is very important, to get in contact and continue this networking with us, with academicians and like this in those outstanding sectorial professionals and managers. So stay safe and healthy during this pandemic at your home, and don't forget to just get in contact and also attend to our courses. Thank you for all of your participating in our events and sharing your precious time for us. Thank you again, Mr. Can Atalay, and my colleagues, Dr. Aslan and Anıl Ünsal. Anıl, do you want to also just ask question or tell something for the last words to our students and our outstanding executive, Mr. Atalay? Yes.
I want to say thank you to Mr. President Can Atalay. Thank you for your participation and also for useful information for our lives. Thank you, President.
I thank you. It was really very nice to be together with you. I again thank you for your invitation.
It was closed. Maybe for the other sections of our Introduction to Higher Education course, we can come together according to your spare time. We can just conduct also a new meeting with my friends, our first class students. Yes, students, do you want to have any question to our president or to me? What do you think about this? If you don't have, now we close this our business department activity, this event, and we are going to continue with next week with different types of topics and the guests. Okay, thank you for all of your participating in our event. See you next week. And we get, yes, Mustafa.
No, thank you very much. I was just going to say thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so
Very
much.
nice to see you.
Have
Thank
a
you.
nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.